you need a sales function.
Yep.
What you have to do when you're starting a business is understand what role do you want to play.
Welcome to Life, Business, and Everything in Between, the podcast for small business owners, creatives, and entrepreneurs navigating the space between big dreams and everyday chaos. I am Leslie Shields, a longtime entrepreneur married to another crazy entrepreneur and raising a tiny human in the middle of it all. This show brings you real conversations, honest insights, and practical encouragement to help you keep going. Whether you're building a brand, pivoting through change, or just trying to lead yourself, well, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Hi, and welcome to Life, Business, and Everything in Between. I have my guest today. Yes, we have a man on the podcast.
Hey.
He's here. They do like us, and they will come on when we ask very nicely.
Absolutely.
Logan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Logan Speights. I'm a serial entrepreneur, investor, mentor, and tend to play as much as possible.
Okay. I assume we'll hear more about that later. But we're glad to have Logan here with us today. I was also supposed to do a podcast with my husband, but he canceled on me. So Logan gets to be the first guy on the podcast, not the husband. That's okay. We'll get that later. And then you'll be hearing from me by myself upcoming soon too. So we are excited that you are here and excited to share Logan's story. So I've got some questions to poke around about, but I'm going to let Logan kind of give a piece because you've been both in corporate and entrepreneur. So you've had all sides of it, and they can play well together.
They can.
And they can also play very differently.
Yes.
And so I think that might resonate with some of the people who are listening, because I know some people are just starting out. Some people are working corporate. Some people have been corporate. Some are doing both at the same time, right. And how they kind of all are muddy in the same field.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So kick it off, Logan. Tell us a little bit about where you maybe first started in this entrepreneurial world, or how you got there.
Got it. So I got caught up in the dot-com boom back in the 90s.
How old are you?
I am in my 40s. I am ancient at this point. But yeah, got caught up in college. Got hired sight unseen for I think TMZ online pre-YouTube. It was It was a group out of LA, and so they hired me to do 3D modeling and animation and television production for them. It was a dot-com boom, and people were spending money like crazy. And so got caught up in that. Was trained on the job, and that was back during the time of Flash websites. For any of you who are old enough to remember Flash websites,
aren't we the same age?
I would hope so. But yeah, so Flash websites were coming up in the digital agency space. You had a bunch of developers who knew how to code websites, but they didn't know how to do the animation side of it. So they stole traditional animators over, and that's how I got into the marketing world and advertising world. Then we get into obviously the dot-com bust and started rolling through agencies as they continued to close because they were doing fun things with their money, like hiring students with no experience to do their work. Yeah. So we got to the end of that and looked up, and all of the agencies in town had gone under. And I knew. So
in this town or another town?
No, in a West Texas town.
West Texas, got it. Okay.
And so.
Are you from West Texas?
I am.
Okay. I'm learning things too.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And so looked around and saw that there were a bunch of people that still needed work and a bunch of people that still wanted to do work. And so I started my first agency in 2000.
2000. Okay, you are older than me. I was still in college in 2000.
Okay, so was I. Yeah. So
was I in high school? I was in high school in 2000.
Okay, so I was in college, and so definitely was balancing full-time school and starting an agency, and that was fun. And I made every mistake you can make, every single one of them, and it was quite the learning experience because I had no idea what I was doing. I looked around and said, I knew how to do some stuff. I know people that need work, so let's do this.
Okay, so you were starting an agency, going after products, local businesses. Who were you selling to?
All the above. And so was doing everything from television production, was doing 3D television spots, all the way down.
Did you know I did small market TV in Kerrville?
I did not.
I did.
Okay.
Out in Kerrville. Tiny market.
Excellent.
Tiny. I mostly did sales, and occasionally they would throw me on to do the news.
Okay. Well, fun story. I actually went to prom in Kerrville. So there was, so we can go there too.
Crossover there too. Yes. But that was in the 90s, right?
Yes. And so ran that for a couple of years, and again, made every mistake all the way up until I was tired of the small market and wanted to move out here to the Metroplex.
Yeah.
And so I literally called up all my clients and said, I'm leaving. Good luck. And shut down the business and moved. Okay. So I didn't sell.
That's a move.
I didn't sell a book. I didn't pass them off to anybody else.
You didn't try and keep it going when you were here.
I just shut it down and moved here to the Metroplex.
Got it. Okay.
Spent a couple of years trying to figure out what was going on here, and then decided to start another one.
And you were working like maybe a job.
Yeah, I came out and worked with an agency for a couple of years to kind of get to know the area.
Get your feet wet.
And then traditional startup story. I met a guy named Aaron, and we started in his living room on either side of his dining room table. Yeah. Our wives were pregnant at the same time, and we started that agency, and I was with it for 13 and a half years.
That's a fun time to start a business. That seems to happen more.
It does.
I mean, I was pregnant when I started the agency. So, stepping out there at the most opportune time in life.
The most opportune time.
So, started the agency with Aaron. Mm-hmm. Who were your clients?
So we had two sides. We did a bunch of nonprofit work. So we were working with churches, parachurch organizations, and then we started getting into some more corporate stuff because their church websites were starting to look better than their company websites. So they started coming to us. And so then we started doing work for profit as well.
For profit and nonprofit. Mm-hmm. And it was in Fort Worth?
It was.
Okay.
Well, mid-cities.
Mid-cities. So when you moved from West Texas, you've pretty much been in the DFW
I've been in the DFW area for over 20 years.
20 years. From West Texas. Which West Texas town?
So I was born in Abilene.
Okay.
And then I did junior high and high school down in Houston. Okay. And then back to Abilene for college and over here as quickly as possible.
Not too far. It's like what? An hour and a half, 2 hours to Abilene?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Depending on how you drive.
Not too well. And depending on how you drive out to West Texas is also a different story.
Yes, it is.
And how what you can pull off there is essentially, I think, the speed limit. What can I get away with is the speed limit when you drive to West Texas.
Except for Ranger Hill.
Oh yeah, don't speed.
Don't speed in Ranger.
Don't speed in Ranger. So, absolutely. All right, Logan. So we started in small market.
Yes.
Marketing, advertising. Yes. Well, talk to me about some of those first days. And so if we're hitting kind of the beginning entrepreneur and maybe something they resonate with in this story, and also sales were, just insanely different the way sales and business was done.
Yes.
20 years ago, because we were knocking on doors. Mm-hmm. We're walking into businesses.
That's right.
We're handing out our card. Mm-hmm. We're cold calling.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about kind of how you've never owned a business.
Right.
And you're there and you're walking in and you're saying, you should trust me because
the good news about advertising and marketing was I had a book of things to walk in and show. Mm-hmm. And especially in a small market, it was easy because you could walk in and say, I did these. And have you seen this commercial, and this commercial?
I did
which
this. Yeah.
You've seen those at night.
Like 3 channels.
Yeah. And so everybody knew those. And so now they weren't anything fancy. They were, shot of the product, shot of the store, shot of the sign, their kids, come on down. It was very small market, West Texas stuff, but they ran all the time. Mm-hmm. So people got used to seeing those. You could go, I did this one, that one, that one. Do you want yours done? And didn't know how to price. So I was priced way too low.
Yeah.
Made that mistake.
Of course you were attractive.
So absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
And so because I was so much cheaper than everybody else, because I was running it out of our spare bedroom. Yeah. And so I didn't have any needs for anything else.
Do you know Kirk Keller?
I do not.
He ran small market radio out in the Panhandle about the same time because he was my boss when I did small market TV in Kerrville. Yeah. And now he's out in Florida still he taught me how to sell.
Nice.
Right. And so that's an important skill in any.
Very much so.
And people who start a business because they're passionate about what they're doing then end up figuring out that they have to either learn and adapt to be a salesperson.
That's right.
Be able to hire a salesperson or they fall flat on their face.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So somebody who is in business and saying, I started this business because I know how to be a coder.
That's right.
I know how to build a website or I know how to be a therapist, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they have to be a salesperson. What advice would you give that person?
That you don't. Okay. You need a sales function.
Yep.
What you have to do when you're starting a business is understand what role do you want to play. Too often when people get started in businesses, they get put into the role of CEO. They get put into the role of main salesperson.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a mistake.
Okay.
Too often if you look at people who start small businesses, 99.9% of them started because they're really good at what they do, or they have a passion about their widget, or they're trying to do something and they've done it forever. They are the expert. They are the practitioner.
Mm-hmm. Or they thought they could do it better than where they were. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yep.
And so they step out because that's what they care about. Then they realize, I've got to do all the back office stuff. I've got to learn all of the marketing stuff. I've got to learn all the sales stuff. And if they step out of their core competencies into stuff that they might not know that well, and start struggling because they want to sit down and write the code. They want to go out and build the widget. They want to do the service that they're providing. And instead they're spending 90% of their time doing things that they're not good at.
Because they're not in their authentic self either.
That is correct. And so when you start looking at running a business, there are really two sides to it. There's the ownership structure, and then there's the actual business like hierarchy that you run in. And too often we think if I start the business and I run the business, I need to be the CEO. And the truth of the matter is I know some amazing companies where the primary equity holder is the COO or the CTO, even more than that.
And they hired out.
They hired out a CEO. They went and found somebody who can be in that sales role. They go find the right person to partner with, bring them on as a minority shareholder. So they have a stake in the game as well. But
partners can be scary.
Partnerships are very scary. I hate partnerships.
Partnerships can be very, very scary.
They are a nightmare. And I will also tell you, I have a partner in every single one of my organizations. I don't do any of them myself. It is harder to run a business with a partner. And there are reasons to do it.
Well, there's also scalability.
Absolutely.
Right? There's scalability when you have help and you have somebody to do what they're good at versus what you're good at. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this kind of goes right into it and says you describe yourself as a builder.
Yes.
And whether it's company strategies or chicken coops.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me more.
So as I was building the agency, I fell in love with ops and automation.
What? Sorry, say that again.
I fell in love with ops and automation.
Operations
and automation.
Okay.
And so the thing I love about the automation side of things is you're actually building a computer to do what a human would typically do. And that gets back into that whole kind of building stuff. So I grew up, my dad was paid for his school as a carpenter. And so I grew up in his workshop. I was always taking things apart as a kid, putting things back together, always building something. So in my spare time, I've got my own shop now. And so I've got all my toys out there, and I'll go out and I can go from standing tree to finished furniture in my shop. So I have all the woodworking tools and can get out and do all of that.
And how many companies do you have now?
6.
In his spare time, folks.
Yes.
He's a woodworker.
I am.
Outside of 6 companies.
Well, I'm a builder because I also get into the metalworking side. So welding and cutting and playing with some metal casting right now, which is a lot of fun. Actually melting molten metal and pouring it into molds and building stuff. So
I think that and a bottle of whiskey on a Friday night with Logan sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun. Both.
Or 911 call.
Yes, both. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Both.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so I love seeing ultimately a need to be filled, and how do I build something to solve that? So that could be a chicken coop if you're building that, or it could be an advertising campaign, or it could be a full company. But here's a problem or a need, what can I build to solve that? And that gets all the way into 3D printing and laser cutting and all of the other things. I mean, all the way down to sewing machines and things like that, because all those are different machines to either put stuff together or take it apart.
Human machine or machine.
That's
machine,
right.
Or machined machine.
That's exactly right.
A quick thank you to our sponsor, The Shields Agency. The Shields Agency is the insurance agency behind this podcast and the work I do every day. We support entrepreneurs, small businesses, and independent contractors with health insurance and benefits. But more importantly, we help people make intentional decisions during busy seasons of life. We work with founders and growing teams who want benefits that support real humans, retention, and long-term sustainability, not just checking a box. Our approach is consultative and educational because no two businesses or families look the same. If you're ready for a more thoughtful approach to insurance and benefits, the Shields Agency would love to support you. And now, back to life, business, and everything in between.
Okay. All right, Logan, so you're a builder.
Yes.
What are you building now? What are your projects?
What am I building now? So doing a lot of work on the house and one of the businesses. So one of the businesses I own is with my wife at the moment. And it's a marriage and family therapy practice. Yep. So we're actually building out her office. And so doing a lot of trim work and fun things in there, some hidden bookshelves and stuff, or hidden doors that look like bookshelves. And so having some fun with that stuff. Yeah.
And that's going to be on the property?
Yeah.
God, that's a different world than I grew up in.
Yeah,
my mom's address wasn't listed. And you're bringing people on site. There you go.
Fair.
Okay, so what else?
Past that, really kind of building out Proxy at the moment.
Okay, so talk about Proxy.
So Proxy is one of my companies. So we are a pre-due diligence value creation advisory services company. If you're in the M&A space. Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ultimately, what that means is if you're a small business owner who wants to exit your business in the next 2 to 5 years, and you've gone to PE, you've gone to VC, you've gone to a family office, and been told you're not ready yet, you come see me, we get you ready.
You get ready. Okay, so that kind of goes into your certified exit planner as well.
I am a certified exit planner. And that's kind of where a lot of that came from. Is I had a small exit a while back, but just because you've gone through one doesn't mean that you know how to do them.
Or how to tell someone else how to do them.
Exactly.
Yes.
So went and got the certification for that. And then we built some amazing tools so we can bring business owners in, run them through, gives them kind of a rough valuation of where they are. Then based off of that, we have built a tool that will actually generate a roadmap for them of here are the things that you need to do to help kind of build everything so that when you walk into any sort of a liquidation event, you're in a power position to get as much money out of your business as humanly possible.
Because you've got your shit together.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
A huge difference.
Okay, so you're also doing something really, really fun.
I do a lot of fun things.
Okay. Some of these fun things we don't need to know about. But let's talk about Digital Fight Club.
Digital Fight Club. It is the best business event you'll ever go to, bar none.
And I still haven't been.
I'm biased, but I'm not wrong.
Because someone needs to watch the tiny human in my life. My husband goes to Logan Speights.
Yes. It is a blast. Yeah. And so it is a networking event, ultimately, wrapped in a lot of marketing. So it's ultimately high school debate held at a bar. And you get to have a lot of fun. So we find these.
Did you come up with this idea at a bar?
I did not.
Okay.
It is not my idea, but I do own part of it now.
Okay.
I've been with them for 8 years at this point.
Got it.
And so we've done fight clubs all over the world. We just got back from doing two back-to-back nights in Cannes, France, as part of the Cannes Lions Festival.
Yep.
And so we were in the French Riviera doing them, and that was
fun.
phenomenal. But ultimately what it is, we find an area where you have people who write big checks. So if you think marketing space, you have CMOs who write big checks. You have agency owners who want those checks.
Yes.
And you have vendors who service both.
Yep.
Okay. So anywhere you have that kind of triad, Digital Fight Club works really, really well. So we go in and we get the CMOs. We're doing a marketing fight club. We go in, every single agency that walks in kisses their butt and tells them exactly what they think they want to hear. They don't give them the real answer. So is AI going to enable creativity or destroy creativity? What's the right answer? And so these CMOs are literally sitting here going, I want to know what's the right answer for that. We go then find agency owners who land on either side of that debate.
Yep.
We get them a little drunk.
And then you put them on stage.
We put them on stage live in front of an audience of people who know what they're talking. So agent or industry people. And it's like a concert. So the lights, DJs, party atmosphere, definitely. But the debates are very real. And so we'll have a referee panel of CMOs, and then we'll have these different agency owners who come in and debate those hot topics. And the audience votes on who wins.
Yeah, I've heard they're a lot of fun. I've heard I should go.
They are a blast. The best thing about Fight Club, though, isn't the event itself.
Okay.
No matter where we do the events, there's an after party within walking distance of that venue.
Okay.
When you start getting Fortune 500 CMOs in a room, and you want to do networking with that, you're not walking up as like, "Hi, my name is Logan. What do you do?"
Yeah.
That networking never happens.
No.
So what we do here is organically, the debates continue. Because you have a room full of people who care about the topics. They just heard a fight. And even if you didn't, you have a primer on the topic because you listened to the fight. You have a viewpoint because you voted one way or the other.
And there's something to talk to about
so
people.
Everybody can walk into any one of those conversations and be a part of it.
I love that.
And so what happens is the CMO is going to float around and they're like, okay, I like the way that you're thinking. I like the way that you're thinking. Let's go get coffee. Let's do things like that. And ironically, it was at a fight club where I met a guy named Brian, who is my business partner at Proxy. Yeah. And so it was a Fight Club after party, and then 6 weeks later we started Proxy together.
Okay, so lots of wins, right?
Yes,
lots of wins. Let's get real. Let's talk about some failures.
Yes,
because that's part of the journey. That's some part of what we're talking about on life, business, and everything in between. Is the real shit, and the real shit is that it doesn't always go well. No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. So one of the ones that we're fighting with actually at Proxy that cost us millions of dollars. Is we didn't test our assumptions well enough when we were getting started. Okay. We went in and we started talking to our potential clients who were these
principals and owners of companies are like, what is it that you need? And what we kept hearing all the time was, I just need more time. I just need more time. And so we built our company around saving executives time.
Okay.
And we built a great platform for it and a great thing to do that. And we got in and we were successful with it. We're still successful at saving executives time. We save over 8.5 hours a week per executive that we work with. So if you get an extra day back in your world, what will that do?
Yeah.
The issue became that was the symptom, and we didn't dig deep enough below it to find out what are they really asking. So we didn't test that assumption. We heard what they said, and we're like, okay, that has to be the answer because they're the words that are being told to us. And we didn't actually push deeper into what does that really mean. Ultimately, what they wanted to do is build more value in their companies. They needed more time to get to the things that they needed to do to be able to achieve that.
Not just more time.
Not just more time for the sake of more time.
Okay.
And so we missed that early on. And so we spent a couple of years building that and running that. And ultimately, it ended up costing us several $1 million to not only pivot, but in lost revenue for people who are like, yeah, I don't need more time, and things like that. And so that's a very real one. Just making sure that you always test your assumptions.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
go
asking
in,
more questions.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the 5 whys. It's the getting below it. It's not just taking things at face value. Because too often, I mean, first of all, if you go out and actually talk to your potential customers and find out what their needs really are, you're already ahead of the game. But you can't just take it for face value.
It's consultative selling.
You've got to dig deeper than that.
Right. And if we know your product, that's what we do, right? So when we're meeting with somebody, we sit and ask questions and present answers and solutions.
That's right.
So they may start the conversation with, I have to keep my doctor. I have to do this. I have to do that.
Right.
Non-negotiable. Wait, it's going to cost me how much to keep my doctor? How much is it going to cost me to not? And then you start to uncover what the actual values and what's really important. And then you're able to present solutions for the real problem.
That's right.
Yeah. Consultative selling.
Absolutely. And consultative, I mean, like building your company, your actual value propositions. Yeah. What is it that is people the actual need?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So Maverick mindset, let's talk a little bit about that. Did you come up with that?
I did not come up with that. So the Maverick is a personality test.
Okay.
And so it comes out of PI, so the predictive index.
Okay. I've never heard of this. Tell me more.
And so when you're building teams, too often, especially in SMB, you're going after a generalist of some sort because you want people to be able to fill different roles because we all have gaps in our businesses. So what we do is we end up building these different generalists who all tend to think and work the same way, which is good in some respects, but it also leaves some giant blind spots.
Yep.
And so one of the things that we do in all of our companies is we run them through the predictive index. There are a million. There's culture index, predictive index. I mean, good to great. I mean, there are a bunch of different.
We use Type Finder.
Yeah. So Strength Finder. Yeah. I mean, there are a bunch of them out there. Pick one. It doesn't matter which one. They all do roughly the same thing, but pick one and run your teams through it.
Yep.
Because what that will do is it'll go, okay, here's how you actually think, and here's how you interact with everybody else on your team. And so once you know that,
share that with everybody too, right? So everybody knows this is how Logan thinks. This is Logan's strengths. And then I've seen it where it comes back and people are like, oh my God, that's totally you. That makes a lot more sense. And then they have more space and understanding for people in their team and can start to learn the values of the difference.
That's right.
In the way they think. And
it uncovers those blind spots. So when you start hiring, you go, okay, next time we hire, we don't need to hire somebody who's exactly like us. We need to hire somebody who thinks like this to help fill out those things that we might not see. So one of the things, Brian Morrison, my business partner at Proxy, we brought on a third partner with us named Tony because Brian and I are almost the same. And we think the same, we work the same, we do a lot the same. And we knew if it was just the two of us, we'd get ourselves in trouble. And so that's why we brought Tony in because he thinks very, very differently than we do. And he helps balance us out.
So, it's funny about that. So Logan is friends with my husband. When I first started dating Chris, his business partner and I have almost the exact same culture index profile. He's total opposite, but his business partner and I were very, very similar, which I thought was weird. It's very, very, very clear in the beginning. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, well, business partners and spouses tend to be, because I mean, those relationships are very similar in a lot of ways.
Because they're very involved on multi-layers and deeply connected. So if we're going to, give people a nugget, right? A Logan nugget
Okay.
What kind of nugget do you want them? What's their takeaway?
Ooh. If you're not in AI yet, get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It is changing the world. But that's a given.
And quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah. And so building an AI center of excellence inside of your organization is going to be critical for moving forward. Companies that have that will succeed. Companies that do not will get left behind.
Yeah.
Period. Past that, individually, for anybody who's running a business or anything like that, learn to delegate and make yourself as ultimately useless as possible in the day-to-day lives of your business. If you are still running it, if you have a team and you are doing the majority of the work inside of your organization, you're never going to be able to sell because you're too tied to it. You're never going to be able to look at the take advantage of the opportunities that come up because you're too buried inside of everything. You're working in the business, not on the business. And so you limit your growth. And so for the individuals, learn how to delegate well, not abdicate. Too many people abdicate and call it delegation. Delegation, you own the results. It is still my responsibility that this gets completed, and I'm going to track it. I'm going to manage it. I'm going to make sure that it's all done. I'm just not going to do the work.
Okay.
Abdication is this needs to happen. Go do it.
Yeah, I've gotten there.
Yeah.
I used to delegate, and now I've gotten so comfortable because people are so good. Like we have a great team, and people are really good at completing things, and I trust them so much that I've gotten a little abdicated. Yeah, no, I've gotten there.
Then you move that as it becomes their responsibility, not yours, and you don't hold it anymore. But if it's technically your responsibility,
so it's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, that's what's happened. Is it's not really my responsibility anymore.
Then that's fine. Then you have actually taken that hat off and handed it to somebody else, which is great.
Yeah,
that's growth.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where I just don't have time to get to this, go do it for me, and you completely hands off, that's abdication.
Okay, I like the difference. That seems really important. I think that's a big takeaway.
Good.
That's a nice nugget.
Yes.
This conversation came up yesterday too. I was at a test run for Women's Presidents Organization.
Yeah.
And we were talking about business owners being able to get out of the business, but also not feeling guilty or not because they're not, or feeling like they're not working because they're not tasking. And
that is one of the hardest transitions from a worker when you're moving up into that. I remember the first day that I did strategy for the full day. I walked into my office, I closed the door, I had a whiteboard in my couch, and I sat there and I thought all day. I didn't write a line of code. I didn't manage a thing. I didn't go to a meeting. It was literally just me and the whiteboard, kind of strategy thinking all day. Didn't actually produce a deliverable, didn't do anything. And at the end of the day, I was like, that was a complete waste of my day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, because it actually opened up like a whole new product line for us and everything else. And so that's really what the job is, but it feels super foreign to not actually deliver anything.
And I found that I had to get out of the office, right?
A lot of times.
I had to go, like, whether we're downtown Fort Worth, I had to go sit by the river, right? Like I had to go get a pedicure. Like I had to create space for my brain to think, right? There had to be room to breathe and space for the strat to even get out of the stress enough to be able to have strategy.
That's right.
Right. So like I had to be able to remove myself from the day to day in order to do that. And I found especially in the first few years of building the agency, some of my best and biggest moves. And now my team is prepared as we leave town for 3 weeks in the summer, and we're still checking in, but we're really not working.
That's
the big stuff comes out of that, whether it's my big stuff or whether people around me on my team shift. And so now the people who've been with me for a few years, my C team is prepared and also a little scared anytime I go on this trip, because they're like, just hold on. Like things happen
what's going to come up that we haven't accounted for. What processes are still sitting on your shoulders. But it's really good.
Absolutely. It's absolutely. It's one of the best things that we can do. Okay. So fun. Let's talk about fun.
Fun. Okay.
Fun. Okay. So I don't think you play basketball, but
I do not.
In your, we fill out these little profiles, and Logan has an NBA championship ring with the Rockets.
I have two.
And I don't think it's because he was dribbling.
Actually, I was dribbling, but yes, okay. I have two. So my first career, if you will, was with the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
So in middle school, I got an opportunity to be a ball boy for the Houston Rockets. And
is this like a job?
It is an actual job. I got paid $30 a game. I had to leave school early. I mean, as a middle school boy, I had to leave
this
school
is like
early.
The best job of all time.
And go and I would be one of the kids who would like rebound out on the court beforehand while they're warming up, or I'd go like pick up their warm ups when they're checking into the game, doing those types of things, setting up the locker room. So I would cut fruit and fill the coolers with beer and Gatorades and all that stuff.
This is like the perfect middle school boy job.
It really is. But it was a lot of work. I mean, they were 10, 12-hour days. That again for $30, but again, as a teenage boy, it was heaven. Yeah. Because I got to hang out with NBA players. I got to know all of them.
Yeah. And so get autographs. And...
From 7th grade through my senior year, I was with the organization. I got lucky because Michael Jordan actually retired the year before I came on. So because the Bulls had their dynasty, when Jordan stepped out, the Rockets came in. Those are the 2 years that we won. Okay. Because I got my check from the Houston Rockets organization, everybody on staff
gets a ring. Okay, does it still fit?
It does, because I purposely bought it large.
Of course, you thought of that.
I did, because I wanted to be able to wear it in the future. That's right. And as a 7th grade boy, I'm not walking around wearing that in Houston. I'd lose a hand.
It's probably on a shelf somewhere, right? Okay, so what do you wish that people would ask you more about?
Right now, AI. So taking the automation one step further, because it's amazing what you can automate. Yeah. Too many people have too limited of a view. I still remember the biggest unlock for me in that space. I was building the agency. Abigail was 2, maybe 3 years old. And I got that angry phone call from my wife. It was about 10 o'clock at night. We've been working a lot of late hours trying to hit a deadline. And it's the "why aren't you home" call. And I realized that I had all sorts of process for inbound, whether it was text or email or whatever else. The inbound I could respond to or I could deal with. What I didn't have time to do is stop and go, I wonder what my wife is doing right now. I should reach out to her.
Did you automate that too?
And so I did. So I automated text messages to my wife for a while.
There you go.
So
at least it was.
We hit the deadline and everybody went home, and it was about 1 a.m. and I was the only one left at the office, and I knew the girls were already asleep. Yeah. And so I was like, what can I do to automate this? And so this was pre-AI. And so I found a list of like 101 conversation starters with your wife online. I loaded that in and it would pick a random time between 10 and 3:30 to randomly grab one of those and text it to my wife.
Did she figure it out?
She'd then get that and respond. It became inbound. And so that helped me get through that period. Knocked it out it was a quick script, knocked out one night. I knew not too close to the beginning or end of the day, so I could avoid all that stuff. What I didn't do is factor in holidays.
When you were sitting next to her.
So we got to a holiday. My phone was dead and charging in the other room, and she gets a text message from me.
Go?
She goes, "What is this?
And why are you texting me? And you're sitting next to me."
And so it was, "That's cute." Turn it off. I explained everything. Now, luckily at that point, it bought me time to where life had settled back down. So I automated text messages to my wife for a while to do that. But what that showed me is that I can do that. There's nothing in business that you can't automate at some level.
We made a list this year and Logan was part of our list, but we made a list this year of the things that we wanted that were of high importance to figure out either some level of automation. And so, and this year it's baby steps, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Next year we can take it to a more advanced level and we can continue to build on those levels of automation. That's right. And then we do have that person on our team who loves AI. And we sent her to an AI course, and she's just like, she took a class and she's absorbing all of it. And this is her area. Is it? I like using it. I like playing with it. Am I going to take a class on it? No.
Sure.
Yeah, that's not my area. Am I going to execute it? No, my brain does not work like that, even a little bit. I'm the like top line visionary, right? I'm like, oh, I know it can do this. Can you make it do that? And the answer is sometimes yes. And the answer is sometimes like, yeah, kind of.
Sort of. Right.
Yeah, kind of is the answer.
But if it can take a 4-hour task and make it a 30-minute task, that's real money.
Now, what I want to start figuring out how to do is to track that time savings.
Yes.
Right? So like this year, in the past, we've scheduled all of our, we're going to open enrollment, right? Shields Agency does health insurance, employee benefits, individual and Medicare. We're going into open enrollment.
Yeah.
It's about to be gangbusters crazy. We have manually copy and pasted a text for the last few years to all of our clients over and over again. Track who hasn't made an appointment, who's had a renewal, manually text. And so this year we've been able to schedule campaigns and work through flows and mapping. And then Cheyenne, who's our producer, which I talk about on these two, so people know she exists. Sometimes we make her answer questions. She's building out, like, go high level for us, right? So this year we're in the emails. That's first step one. And then step two is all the texting. And that's what I would say we've kind of learned, and Chris has helped me learn too, is that we're gonna take this off one bite at a time.
Yes.
Let's pick a project. Let's accomplish it. And then I think it's really important, and I'm trying to do this right now, is thinking about, out of all the things we wanted to do this year, what have we achieved? Right. And when you look at it, because you sometimes feel like you're spinning.
That's right.
And you feel like you're not getting very far and you're underwater all the time, but you look at what you've achieved this year and holy shit, right? Like we've done some really big things.
That's right.
And Logan was part of helping us with that.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Bringing in just experts.
Yes.
Right.
And the first step in all of that, no matter what the AI or automation tool is, you have to know your process. And so if you haven't documented your process or know what those steps are, you've got to go back to that and start there. And so if you're thinking about getting into AI, even before you call me or anybody else to work on that, document your process. Make sure that you know what that is.
Can help you build your process.
And if you don't have one, AI can help generate it. But know those steps. Because once you know those steps, it becomes really easy to go, we can automate this piece, we can automate that piece.
And the thing that's done it for me is I can have a very, very rough idea of what I'm trying to say or execute. Right. And then I'm able to put that in and I was like, here, create a process from, and you're like, yes, that's exactly what I do. It's just much prettier when you do that. So yeah, absolutely. All right, Logan. Okay. I really appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
We do have men on the podcast. It will happen.
Yay.
We had 2 women. Then we're going to do one with just me. Now we have Logan. I know my husband's going to do one. And then we always ask for referrals. And if you are interested at all, men or women, on being on our podcast, let me know. We'd love to have you and kind of have that conversation. Last week or the week before, I did a podcast recording and I was on 2 more.
Nice.
I got done with the end of the week and I was like, oh, right. It was a lot. I had to do my makeup every day and get dressed and out of my pajamas and off my couch and, no work from home days. And Logan does a lot of video work and podcasting too. Any words of wisdom for the road? We got a nugget.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom for the road.
I'll go back to human-centered technology is the only answer to move forward. The robots are not going to take over. There's got to be a blend between the two.
Human-centered technology is the way to move forward. The robots will not take over. You heard it from Logan, folks. Yep. All right. If you want to connect with Logan, where can they find you? Sure.
So LinkedIn is probably the best place to go across that. Other than that, proxy.com with 2 X's, PROXXY. It's a great place to find me. But yeah, all my stuff is on LinkedIn. So please reach out there. Would love to chat with anybody if there's anything I can do.
And Cheyenne will put everything in the show notes as well. So thanks for being here. Thank you for tuning in to Life, Business, and Everything in Between. If today's episode gave you something to think about or made you feel less alone in the hustle, we'd love it if you follow the show and share it with a friend. Real stories, real talk, and just enough chaos to keep it interesting. We'll see you next time.